there, I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate.
And today we're taking a look at Zoo King by Saratoga Toy and Game Company.
Zoo King is a game coming to Kickstarter in the near future, so you want to make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign link down below to take you to the campaign page where you can find more information on it. But do that after you watch our video. This is a game in which players are going to be purchasing zoo cards with animals or facilities, staff members, all in hopes to better improve their zoo, trying to get different sets, completing those sets for points, and all in hopes to become the Zoo King. Let's go ahead and take a look at it down below, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on this one. All right, I have Zoo King on the table here. First thing I want to let you guys know is that everything you see is going to be prototype, so the final artwork, components, rules might be different when the final product is released. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. This is a card game in which you are going to be trying to get different animals to fill up your zoo, and you're trying to win certain awards to become the most prestigious or most dangerous, most staff. Anyhow, trying to get 3 awards before any other player is able to do so. Now, in this game, you're going to have a deck of cards here that are for your staff and facility, and there's a market here that you're going to be able to purchase from. And then you'll have a separate deck of animal cards that make up another market. And there's going to be money cards up here in different denominations. And then you also have your events and award cards. Now, for setting up the game, you are going to shuffle each of these decks separately, and then you're going to deal a number of events. Oops, let me flip this over. A number of events, depending upon how many players are in the game, followed by a number of awards, followed by some more events and more awards and more events and more awards to make up an event deck in which you will flip over 1 card at the beginning of every round. Now, most of the time it's going to be an event, and if it has a green border on that card, then it's going to be something positive that gives you something, typically money. However, it could be a red card, and usually that means something bad is going to happen, such as having to pay money to whoever the veterinarian is if someone has claimed the veterinarian, which the veterinarian happens to be right here. And so that's how that works. Now, whenever an award comes up, then you are going to award this to whoever most satisfies the text here at the bottom of the card. So for instance, this says most animals, awarded to the player who has the most animal cards. Tiebreaker, highest star total of all animals. We'll come back to what the star total means. But you're going to award this the moment it comes out of the deck. Now, you're never quite sure when that card will come out of the deck. So you can't really prepare too much because there are several different awards that you are going to try and win in this game, and you can't be so spread out thin that you aren't doing the best in any of these categories. So you got to be careful about which ones you pick to really devote yourself to try and win, and hope that those cards come out first. And so that's how those cards work. Now on your turn, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be purchasing a staff or facility from this line or an animal from this line. So let me explain what these cards do. Now, if there is a cost in the top left corner, well, that's how much money you have to pay to purchase it. You're going to see your animal name listed right here, and the types of animals, or the type of different categories that go with that animal. And so this alligator in particular is a show animal. It is dangerous, and it is a reptile. And some of the different awards might match with these different types. So that's why that is there. Now I mentioned a star total earlier, and that reflects off of these stars right here. And so you count up your stars, and sometimes that can be a tiebreaker for the awards and be an important thing for you later on. Also, the habitats tell you a little bit about where that animal is going to be found in the world, and that might play into some of the different awards as well. If you ever have more than one of the same animal, if you make a pair, for instance, and I'm pointing at the alligators because that's one of the easier ones to do because there's more alligators in the deck than there are other animals. Then you're going to get extra money back. You're going to get $100 back if you're able to do that. If you purchase from the staff or facility line, you are going to, again, pay the price listed in the top left corner and gain the ability on that card. Now, this icon right here is a persistent effect. So this effect lasts you the entire game, whereas some of the other cards might only be a one-time use, such as the Curator here. One-time use of letting you draw 2 cards from the animal deck, take one for free, and then reshuffle the other back into the deck. And as you can see, Dippin' Dots here has allowed their image to be in this game. And that's really cool because what is a trip to the zoo without Dippin' Dots? So, and that is how those lines of cards work. So this pretty much is a card drafting from a market game trying to build your tableau of animals and staff and facilities to try and get those awards, because the person who wins 3 awards first is the winner. And that is how you play Zoo King. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one. All right, we're back. And now we're going to share our thoughts on Zoo King. And real quick, I just want to say the very first thing that really impressed me with Zoo King is the look of the game. And granted, this is just a prototype. This isn't going to be the final components. Maybe the artwork might change a little bit, but I really hope it doesn't change too much, because this looks impressive. We were just at a museum earlier today even, and we were walking in one of those gift shops that you see at museums and zoos all across the world. And every time I go into one of those places, my thought is, man, the board game selection is... I want Zoo King to be on the shelves of every gift shop that you ever go into at a zoo or a museum anywhere, because this is the type of game that non-gamers, even gamers, need to see more of out there on the shelves, because it has an appealing look to it that's going to get people to grab it off the shelf, to look at it, look it over, and then the gameplay is going to knock it out of the park. Because for me, Zoo King was an awesome experience. It was one that I thought really did a good job. Sam, what were your thoughts on Zoo King?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Sometimes a card drafting game, they tend to be games that I go towards, but they've been hit and miss lately, and so you're not always sure what you're going to get. And I wasn't sure when Lance first explained this game, but it turned out to be really good. It was a really good card drafting game. I really enjoyed it. I liked the artwork. It was easy to understand. I think I won, so.
She did win. She beat me several times, actually. Now, yes, Sam, you mentioned that this is card drafting. It's completing those different sets of different animals. You know, you have the different themes to the animals there. There's icons in this game, but as you said, it was easy to understand. Yeah. I don't think the icons were too overwhelming, did you?
No. And we've played some recently that learning the icons makes it really frustrating for a non-gamer, but I don't think that was the case here at all.
Yeah, I think the gameplay's pretty straightforward in this. You know, you do have some good choices as far as, do I want to purchase one of these cards or do I want to draw off the deck, you know. There's good choices here as far as what you want to do.
But not too many choices.
But not so many that you feel overwhelmed, right? Yeah, exactly. What did you think about the theme?
I thought the theme was good. I mean, we don't have many animal-themed games or zoo-themed games like that. I wasn't really sure how it was going to play in. Sometimes the themes kind of pasted on. But no, it was definitely, you were involved in it, and I really enjoyed it by the end. Yeah,
I felt like those events that get mixed in with the, you know, you flip one over at the beginning of every round. And the events that come up in that deck are very thematic, you know, like you have an animal that escapes, or you have an animal that gets sick, you know, or just whatever the case happens that round. I thought that was a good twist. And then you do those awards that come up periodically throughout the course of the game, you know, and they, you know, you have to prepare for that. Sam, what did you think about that as you are trying to build these different sets, knowing that maybe this is the award that gets awarded to whoever has the most cats or whoever has the largest staff? Did you feel like that was a good experience for you?
I really like when card drafting games have that. Splendor has that. Splendor Marvel has that. And it gives me something to attain, to something, a goal to achieve. And I really enjoy that. It gives me more of a direction than just what am I doing here. So I think it's a great aspect to have for a non-gamer, because sometimes those games you don't really know where to start, and it gives you good direction.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think that having a path to follow can be helpful when not only as a gamer, a new or non-gamer playing the game, but as the gamer explaining it to the non-gamer, saying, hey, this is really, just focus on doing this, building up these categories as best you can. And then as you play the game, you see that those awards can come out in different ways at different times. And that's where the replayability factor of this game really gets amped up, because you can't always go into it saying, I'm going to get all the cats. I'm going to go for cats all the time, because cats might not come up, might be at the bottom of the deck, and that can sink you. So there is replayability in how the deck gets shuffled and comes out. So really cool things going on here with Zoo King. And folks, if you didn't catch it in the little overview part of the video, there's Dippin' Dots in this, and it's on the front cover of the box right here. Dippin' Dots. I mean, you can't go wrong with Dippin' Dots, right? That's awesome that's there. So that's Zoo King, and it's coming to Kickstarter. I really enjoyed it. Sam?
Yeah, it was a really enjoyable game.
Yeah, we highly recommend it. Go check it out. Again, check that link down below in the description of the video.
Also, make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.